Okay, item 5, our general manager is trying to catch up. We had almost 2.5 years with no preventive maintenance, and it's starting to show up now. So, Mr. Brown?
Yes, thank you. Over the last couple of weeks, at the last board meeting, I reported to the board that as that particular day, we had one of our booster pumps that had failed, and we didn't know why or what caused it, and I asked staff to take a look at the other booster pumps in our system, and I subsequently sent you email updates and have an update in our board packet with where we're at, and several of the newspapers have reported on what I wrote about where we're at. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail unless you have some questions on that. I have a, Wes, if you'll pull the cap off there, and Rich, if you can shut one of the lights there. This is a booster pump impeller inside of our well number 27, and this one has no chlorine in it and has been in operation for 5 years.
It was put in 2009.
Yeah, 5 years now. You can see the thickness on the edge of the impeller there. You can see the straight edge, hardly anywhere at all on this one. This is in great shape compared to what I'm about ready to show you now. I just wanted to give you an idea of what a good one looks like. And the only difference between this one that we can tell and the other ones is there's no chlorine injected ahead of this one at all. This is the booster pump impeller at treatment plant 27. This is the one I reported to you 2 weeks ago. You can see, oops, on the edges there how thin that is. You can see that there's a hole eaten through this part of the impeller when you twist it a little bit more. These edges are almost razor blade sharp. You can see on the edges there how they're starting to deteriorate and fall apart. So this is the one that initially gave us the concern on where we're going with this request tonight. And this is the one that really made me sick when we got to it. This is the booster pump at treatment plant number 27. You can see this thing's, or 28, I'm sorry. This thing's almost completely eaten away. Sorry about all the particles floating around in there, but you can see the edges, how jagged they are. The walls along here are all eaten away. If we turn that pump on right now, we'd get nothing but shrapnel being pumped down line at treatment plant number 28. That one is completely disintegrated and useless. So,
how old is that one?
Also 2009.
Yeah, this one's 5 years old. This is the same as that really good one that I showed you a little bit ago. So,
thank you.
Rich, you can turn lights on.
Is there a possibility of other damage caused by that down the line?
Not a lot. Most of it would be smaller flakes, and by the time it entered into the distribution lines, because of the diameter of the pipes, the velocity in the pipes is fairly slow, and that the bigger pieces would just settle out in the bottom of the pipe until somebody flushed the pipe out. But there's no damage that would happen to anybody's homes or anything like that. So basically, we have 4 booster pumps that are in varying degrees of falling apart. You saw the worst one there. The other ones are heading that way. The two booster pumps in treatment plant number 27, one's 6 months old, the other one's 2 months old, and they're both, for whatever reason, are falling apart really faster than they should. We've talked to several pump manufacturers and rebuilders. They're scratching their heads, and they don't figure out. The only thing they can, and we've come to the conclusion of, in studying several metallurgy reports and studies on corrosion in pumps over the last 20 years or so, is that the Lead-Free Act that Congress enacted a few years ago weakened the bronze. The impellers are made of bronze. They weakened the metal in there, and then the chlorine injected ahead of the pump has something to do with that impeller falling apart faster than it should. So our request is to have the board, right now we've got $10,000 allotted in our booster pump maintenance program. We've not used any of that yet this year. However, as I mentioned in my memorandum, we need another $90,000, and I don't think we'll go over that at all, but I wanted to be safe to make sure to repair those pumps with stainless steel impellers, and also move the chlorine injection point from the suction side of the pump to the discharge side of the pump.
Is the labor something we do ourselves, or is it something
The
that's...
pump, to move the injection points, that's something we could do ourselves. To repair the pumps, we're going to have to send them into a pump repair house. And we've talked to folks in Las Vegas. We're supposed to talk to somebody today in St. George. I don't know if they got a hold of those folks. And we had a call, and I don't know if they read the local newspapers or how they found out about it, but a guy blindly called me out of, he's from Atlanta, Georgia, and they repair pumps, and said they pay for free shipping and everything to get them to their Houston facility.
Power of the internet.
Yeah.
Where's the money gonna come from? I think that's savings.
It's coming out of savings.
Yeah, we have no, there's nothing in the budget that would require budget augmentation, and that would require tapping into cash reserves to do it.
Nowhere else.
Now, there might be, you know, when the year's over with, there might be savings in a few categories here and there that we can realign, and obviously we would do that when we get down to augmentation time. We would reallocate everything we could towards this, but I'm not seeing any categories where it's clear that we've got huge savings that we're going to be able to come up with that much.
Well, it's clear that we have to do this, in my opinion.
Well, either we do or we close the door.
Yeah.
And how long is it gonna take to?
The impellers have a 10-week lead time on order, so I told Philip to get the purchase orders ready to go today. So if the board approved it tonight, we'll be on the phone first thing in the morning to start moving forward to get that process going. Moving the chlorine injection point, that'll take, once they order the parts, I think that had a 2 or 3 week lead time on that, so we should have that done within the next 5 or 6 weeks. But the getting the pumps repaired, that's going to be 10 to 12 weeks before we have those up and running again. So it'll be right there at the beginning of our peak production requirements.
Well, since time's of the essence, I'm ready to make the motion.
Well, I have a question.
Wait a minute,
You've decided on the stainless, not powder coating.
We've decided on stainless.
Okay.
That just seems to, based on the metallurgy reports and everything that we've been able to read, even with the light amount of chlorine that we put at the head of the treatment plants to help with the arsenic oxidation, that minimal amount won't affect the stainless steel, and we shouldn't have to, if we powder coat them, we'll still have to go in every 2 years or so.
Well, the powder coating version was still a bronze pump with the
Right.
powder coating.
Right. And every 2 years, we'd have to pull the impeller back out and re-powder coat it
Right.
again.
Yeah, 'cause
And by doing the stainless
yeah.
steel, we won't have to do that.